these shoulders. So we're going to use bolster. And you're going to be lying down on left side. And you're going to need inflated slow-mo ball and possibly a ball beside you. So last week, and I'm going to adjust my camera, Tracy, so you can see me a little bit more. I noticed my mat's a little bit cut off. And if you want to, if your camera can dip down at all, I can see you on the floor right now. I can't see you, but it's up to you. No worry. Did your ball go away? Okay, perfect. Okay. So lying on left side. Also have one more. Sorry, there's a lot of props. I'm having a little hard time keeping track of all of them today. I apologize for that. You can also have the block if you want on top of your bottom foot, which is your left, and then your right foot on top. And then you want to put the slow-mo ball in between the thighs. So we're going to do just one part of what we did last week, just to create some mobility in the pelvis. So the inflated ball is in between the thighs. And you want to start feeling, okay, I'm slightly stacked up. Your bottom arm can be extended. It can be wrapped around the bolster. You choose, but you want to try to get your head, heart, pelvis all in one line. So try not to curl forward too much in the torso. More of an extended spine. Now it's your top leg and pelvis that is going to roll forward across the ball. And then you're going to bring the top leg and pelvis rolling back. And so you don't want to go too far back. You want to kind of think of, okay, I can move a little bit forward and back because we're mobilizing the ilium and the sacrum. So we're just going to go nice and slow, feeling back and forth. Try not to roll the torso open. It's just the pelvis moving back and forth along the ball. Yeah, there you go. Feeling the breath as you're here. So this is really good for unlocking the right side of the pelvis to the sacrum, so that joint, the sacroiliac joint. And we're kind of tugging also myofascially, so muscles and fascia, on the right side of the hip into the pelvic floor. Good. So we're just gonna do a couple more. Okay, then you're gonna come to a pause. Now you're gonna release the block out that's on top of your bottom foot. Now you're gonna take the slow-mo ball, and you might find that this works or it doesn't, but we're gonna try to get the hamstrings to not engage. So putting the slow-mo ball behind the back of the calf and the thigh helps with that. Now we're going to work our glute medius, but we're going to do internal and external rotation at the same time. So if you're unsure, you want to watch first. So the shin and the foot is going to stay elevated the whole time. So what you want to do is keep the shin and the foot in the air and just bring the upper thigh, which is your right, on top of your lower thigh, with keeping the leg of your shin and your foot up. Yeah. So there you go. So shin and so watching. I think some of you need to watch me first. So maybe just sit up and just watch for a moment. Because some of you are doing it and some of you aren't. And then you're watching people and they're not doing it. And so it's a little bit tricky. So shin and foot elevated, thigh together. Then what you're going to do, without trying to roll back too much, you're going to bring your knee up. Okay, so you can see I haven't rolled back. I've opened a little bit. And then you're bringing the thigh down on top, but not lowering the shin and the foot. So this is internal rotation. So you might inhale here and exhale when you point the knee up. This is external rotation. Internal rotation, knee and shin stays up. External rotation. There you go. Keep the shin and the foot elevated. We might have done this one, Rosanna, when you were in class that day on Wednesday, right? Yes. Okay. So tricky, right? There it is. Yes, you got it. There it is. Good. You got it. So a little bit different than last week because we only did internal rotation last week, but now I'm asking you to do external and internal. You got it, Angie. It can go, it can go all the way up. Yeah. And then it can come all the way down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Good. And this is working. Glute medius, external and internal rotation. So the front part of the glute medius is our internal rotator. The back part of our glute medius is our external rotator. So we're working both front and back, middle of the glute medius muscle. Yeah. So are you leaning maybe more into lean a little bit more forward and see if you can weight onto your thigh. Yeah, there you go, Kevin. You just did an adjustment there. There it is. There, better. Okay. So a couple of us said, oh, my hip was sore, so you can stop at any time. Okay. Some of us were saying, and Tracy, not too sure if you're feeling this online as well, that we were saying, oh, I'm loading my hip. And so what I mentioned was keep just rolling forward on the bottom leg on the thigh. Okay? And then that will help you take off from the side of the hip. Okay, so now we're going to release that hip because yeah, exactly. So where's our ball? I don't even know where my ball went. I don't even know what happened to my ball. That's okay. I think I walked around with it. Is that mine? I thought so. Yeah, you can just. That's okay. It'll come back to me in a moment. No worries. So you have an option here. So you can stay with the legs stacked. Okay, you can take we're going to release that side, right? So you can support the head still with the bolster, or you can support the head with the slow-mo ball. Okay, so you're still on left side, or you can take the bolster and support that whole leg. Okay, so that would be knee, shin, foot. Your choice. And I've got my slow-mo ball under my head, and I don't have my ball. I'm just going to go get my ball. So you should have your ball in your hand, right? Yeah, you do need a ball. That's why I was trying to find mine. But I think what I did was, did it roll over? Hey, I thought I didn't take it with me. It was following me. It's kind of funny. Okay, so you're going to find your outer hip. So we're going to work into releasing myofascially, okay, the glute medius, and also getting into the external rotator. So you're going to locate your greater trochanter bone on the outside. So you can feel that. And then you're just going to start to roll with your hands around that bone. There you go. Good, Tracy. And then as you keep rolling through there, and I'm going to sit up just so you can see it a little bit easier, you can go above that. So remember, you have the crest top of the ilium. You can go just below that. And then you can also start to move back. So some of you might go a little bit more back into the glute medius, or you might travel down and be, oh, there's a spot kind of in the lower kind of glute maximus that tends to over contract. Good. Uh-huh. So just taking some time to massage, just releasing that hip before we roll over. How's that feeling on that hip? Donna, is it okay? Few screws there. Yeah. And so kind of going around that, can you feel the release happening around it for you? Yes. Okay, good. Because it'll release, right? That holding, so it's not so tight around your hip for you. Okay, want to bring in a little movement. This is optional. Okay, so as you're there, you can maybe even you're getting connected down to the iliotibial band. And you might even find a spot where you want to go into compression. So you just hold. And then you can do a little kick as if you're kicking a ball in space and bringing the leg back. So this is called a pin and a stretch. You may or may not do this. I'm just giving option. Ooh, I find my iliotibial band, where my iliotibial band meets my hamstring muscle, so that's back of thigh, there's a connection point. And for me, I can find a little spot just on the bottom of my iliotibial band on the side of the leg that goes into my hamstring, that connection, that meeting. And for me, I just like to hold it and then I'll do a little bit of movement here of kicking, which when you hold in compression, you go from superficially and you start to go deeper from the muscle wrapping around, the fascia wrapping around, and you're going deeper down into the muscle and the bone towards the bone. So sometimes where it's hooked or gripping, and then we're doing a stretch as well. So then you're getting more mobility. You're kind of taking the adhesion or the gripping and then you're slowly like untangling it. So if you think of a knot, like I always think of when I've got a whole bunch of necklaces knotted together and I kind of just start shaking them, sometimes they all start loosening apart. The more you try to like pull them, sometimes they get a little bit more wrapped up in each other. Yeah, good. Nice. Okay, so just gonna take another minute or so here. Hmm. And you'll feel over the next minute or so when you're done, and you'll roll onto your back. And I just want you to notice right to left. So if you've got a bolster underneath you, you might find, oh, that doesn't feel great because it's too high on my head or my neck. So you might pull it out. You might find having something lower, like a chip bone block, or the legs want to be bent or extended, or the head straight on the floor. You decide. Okay? But just take a moment just to lie down and just feel into each leg, hip. So that might be in stillness. You might have to do a little bit of movement. So your body might say, oh, do a little wiper movement, or draw your legs into your chest, or lengthen them out. So whatever you feel, you do. You just let yourself connect into your own body. And so what we're doing is we're taking that stabilizer muscle that helps align the femur bone. So the more connected and aligned we are in our lower body, the more our upper body, our shoulders can rest upon a stronger foundation. Okay. Sometimes when we release legs, hips, we release the fascia that pulls up into the shoulders as well. Okay. So we know that when we release feet, it released all the way up through the side of the body. Okay. So you're going to roll over now. We're going to do the whole sequence on the other side. So as you come into the other side, yeah, we got it. Yeah, they keep coming to you. So if we know if we're lost, if our ball, here's another one coming your way. I know. Okay, so head on the bolster. I love it. I know the floor does slant. It kind of rolls that way. There's a center spot kind of over here. I know. It's kind of funny. So remember, your 4-inch block is on your bottom foot, right? And then your inflated slow-mo ball is in between your knees. And you can take your 4-inch block, which is behind yours, and I think Candace has it for you, and put it on your bottom foot. I like it because it keeps your pelvis in neutral. I was, but I think that you had two, I think. No, it's okay. You can keep it for now. I know, right? Okay, so take a moment to stack. Check in. Is my head, my heart, my pelvis all in one line? So curling forward. Sorry, my microphone keeps popping up. And then you're going to just move top leg and pelvis. So it's going to roll forward and back. So remember, this is not a very big movement. It's like 20–30% movement. Just go really slow. If you have a lot of mobility there already, you just want to start off really soft so you're not kind of over kind of releasing. And some of us get stuck. So for me, I get stuck on this side for me. So rolling this side and both sides actually create space in the pelvis. So we're first off just creating space in the pelvis. So you do this for as many times as you want. And then see if when you end that your pelvis, your left hip is stacked on top. So if you were to feel, you can go, oh yeah, there's a stacked pelvis on my side body. Now you're going to release the block from your bottom foot. You're going to take the ball and put it behind the back of the thigh and the knee. Now, remember, when you are doing this, you can roll a little bit more forward on the bottom thigh towards the front of the thigh, which will take the weight off the hip. Then you're going to have your thighs touching, shin and foot is upright. And then you're going to try to point that left knee up towards the ceiling to wherever it comes to without rolling back too much through the torso. Then the left thigh is going to come down to touch right, but you're going to keep your left shin and foot up in the air. So internal rotation, external rotation. Holding the ball for some of us will help us not engage the hamstring too much. Are you feeling internal and external? Good. Thigh going down, shin and foot up. Yeah, when your thigh comes down, Seamus, your foot needs to stay up in the air. Shin and foot. Yeah, there it is. So shin and foot is never lowering down. It's only your thigh. Yeah, you got it. Good, Peggy. You do as many as you want. We're all a little bit different. Your body might go, oh, yeah, really liking this. Or it might go, oh my God, this is really difficult. If it's difficult, it's yours. It's yours to take home and do. Okay, when you're done, you're going into your ball rolling. So you support that leg however you want. Maybe the bolster stays there. Some of you have been putting the block underneath the shin instead and supporting it that way, or taking the slow-mo ball, the inflated one, and supporting leg. Okay, and then grabbing the ball and rolling through, finding that greater trochanter and going around that. So there's a lot of our internal abductor muscles, which we're always still working as well. Those deep abductor muscles below that abduct when we're bringing the knee up to the ceiling. But we really, for some of us, need to work internal rotation as well. So you're just rolling through the hip, through the iliotibial band as much as you want, the back of the glute. So maximus is on the top, then you start to get into the minimus and the medius, all underneath that maximus muscle. You can do your kicking in space at any time. Take your time here. Good, hamstrings coming in, it's great. Some of you are going above the greater trochanter into that upper part of the hip. That's a really nice place to be. It's going into the TFL, so the tensor fasciae latae muscle, which is above that greater trochanter bone. I love going up there. For me, I get a little bit of holding. You can also follow when you find the rim, or we would call the spine of the ilium. You can also follow that spine of the ilium and let the ball transfer all the way around. Sometimes our QL muscle, even going on top of it as well, our QL muscle attaches onto that rim of the pelvis. So I find sometimes for me, and I'm sitting to show this, I like to put the ball just on the very top of the rim. We've done this standing before against the wall. And you might even feel, oh, yeah, you can kind of get into that spot. I know for me, this is my side that I get really tight on. Each of us, if we have a tight quadratus laborum muscle, which is attaching to the top of the pelvis to the lower rib cage, it's an anchor muscle. It anchors us down. If we're really tight there, it's usually one side. And you remember when you're done, it might be in the next minute, it might be in a minute and a half or so, you roll onto your back. Nice. Notice how you feel. Take out any height that you don't need. Some of you are still finishing up. There's no rush. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And then you just check in with yourself once you're done. What movement do I need? Is it a white ring? Do I need to draw the legs into the chest?